What is your vision for the district and the city in 10 years' time?
My vision for the next 10 years is we have two-way Gorham and Johnson, and that we have a neighborhood over here on Johnson and Gorham, and that the East Washington corridor really takes off, and that we have a multimodal transportation system that works for people. When people will feel comfortable riding the bus because they know that bus is going to come every 15 minutes. It runs early in the morning, it runs late at night, and there are plenty of options for people to get around our city. That would be my vision for the 2nd District, and I think that is my vision for the city as a whole. It's going to take a lot of work. There's a lot, and the economic times could impact how successful that is. But I think that we've set the groundwork together. I think that the Neighborhood Association has been a very strong advocate, and together we partner to make it a strong 2nd District. And so that's my vision. Since I have a little bit of time left, several of my amendments passed this year, just so people know. You can check my blog. It's got them all on there, including the homeless outreach worker that I was talking about earlier. And I worked very, very hard with the development community, and they supported it when it passed. And we did work very hard to make sure that it was workable. We went through scenario after scenario after scenario about how it was actually going to work when it hit the ground. It did create 40 units. 40 units, that's 40 units more than we had before. And it's more than what nonprofits would have created during that same period of time. So you can call a credible failure, but I think that it made a difference in our community. It will make a difference in the long run because those units will be there in years to come in areas where they're not building affordable housing.
My vision for the city is to maintain the overall reputation within the United States as a central location in the upper Midwest, centralizing a region located between Chicago, Milwaukee, and the Twin Cities that is the upper Midwest, is the heart of it. A place where people know that there's a fine institution in the University of Wisconsin-Madison, that people that are alumni that have studied here, work all over the world, and come from all over the world to study here. I see it as a very diverse community that provides quality social services on many, many levels for people. I want to see it as a city where people want to invest in our community. They want to put the time, energy, money that's required to really actually see things happening, but truly be invested in what we have here, which is one of my favorite places to live, a place that I call home. And so I see some things along the 2nd District, particularly in the East Washington corridor. They're going to already start targeting, implementing some projects as soon as this year. That is going to be a red carpet for the downtown, the center, the heartbeat of our community. And in the 2nd District is right along there. So there's an overall vision that I see.
The community and for the district for the next 10 years begins in this building. This is the heart, this is the backbone of the building, of our neighborhood. The first thing that I will do is coordinate with our entire neighborhood and put a seal, a community seal on this building that says we will do whatever it takes to make the Lapham Elementary School remain for eternity and for everyone else here. And we'll do whatever it takes to make it one of the best elementary schools in this entire city. It is the only downtown elementary school as we currently speak. Well, after we do that, young families will have the confidence to come and buy homes along East Mifflin and East Dayton Street. Those are markets that are on the verge of booming. And when this economic tempest lifts, it will happen. I see a Mansion Hill that's like a Georgetown is to Washington, D.C., an area of calm and respite in amongst the tempest of a thrashing city. And we'll do what it takes. We'll make people invest there. We'll make them want to give up their summer cottages, want to give up their cabins up north and buy those old homes and fix them up. And as that prospers, it will spread to the entire district. And we'll take the old student homes and we will redevelop them where possible. And eventually, we will have that chasm that separates us, that East Johnson and East Gorham chasm, transformed into a two-way street. and taken over forever so that we can once and for all be a cohesive neighborhood. It begins here and it builds from here.
I think it's going to be very strong, and I think it's going to be strong for a number of reasons, specifically because if you're looking at the way the market's working and what people are looking for in housing and quality of life, you're looking at all those issues of new urbanism. You want to live in traditional neighborhoods close to city services, and we have that. We're very, very lucky. We're not going to struggle, I think, as some of the outlying areas will in 10 years' time. You know, I'd love to see Chicago get the Olympics, and I think in 10 years' time, if that happens, we're going to see amazing infrastructure of transportation. You know, we'll have gotten that regional transit authority, which I think is actually going to be here sooner rather than later. You know, we'll see light rail, we'll see much better park and rides to really help with that flow. Brenda brought up the two-way traffic. If we solve those bigger transportation issues, I think that's very possible. We're going to see those homes restored. We're going to see the East Wash build plan, and Adam's going to be, you know, a hell of a member on the PTA. I have a feeling in 10 years here. So, you know, I think we're in an excellent position. You know, 10 years out, we're going to be in an excellent position because we have all the things in our neighborhood that people will want. We're very much in high demand, and it will be very interesting to see how we develop and how we come together as a neighborhood to really make the most of the opportunity that's presenting it, you know, that's presented before us. So I'm very excited. You know, this is, if the neighborhood goes in the direction that I would like to see it go, I'm very confident that I'm going to be a very happy neighbor in 10 years, and I will be very happily settled in this neighborhood.